Everyone, thank you so much for taking the time. As I always say, it's Thursday, 3 p.m. Eastern. We're going to try to get you out before 4 p.m. Eastern. In fact, we will. We should be a little bit early. Number one, I want to thank everyone for taking the time and spending it with us on this Thursday afternoon. Number two, my goal is that you walk away with nuggets. As I always say, make sure you jot down notes. Use that Q&A box. You can expand it. It's on the GoToWebinar software. It should be on your screen. We want to hear from you, good, bad, indifferent, comments, feedback, questions, whatever it is. Okay, please dive in. And I want to also make sure that you're comfortable with the platforms, the different options, some of the new things going on here at Levinson. Andrew's going to do his best to answer every single person that comes in real time. And then if we don't get back to you, we will get back to you when we wrap up at 4 p.m. Eastern. If you need a call back, also let us know. And you'll have a thank you email sitting in your inbox tonight before we leave with all of the brochures and data and all the information that we're touching on today. Okay, if you don't get that, just let us know. That means we have your incorrect email address or it's sitting in your spam folder. Okay, so let's dive in here. What I want to do is just give a 100-foot overview first, and then we're going to dive into the slides. What I want to talk about quickly is here we are, 2024, right? The end of January, where it is crazy to even think we're almost a month in. And, there's lots and lots of technology platforms, right? You're hearing a lot about AI in our industry, outside of our industry. And you're probably, let's say, a third bedroom agent, or maybe you work in a big corporate office. We also have a lot of health and P&C agencies and financial institutions. And you're putting your marketing plan together, right? And we all have to agree that a marketing plan has to change and you have to pivot constantly, right? Or else you're doing the same thing that you did in 1989 if you were in the business then. And that's literally like riding a horse in reverse around New York City in 2024, which you shouldn't be doing because things are changing so rapidly today. Okay, we know that. And we were just discussing, think about this for a second. We're in this life insurance industry, this world, and I've been doing this for about 25 years now. And if you think back, and even 5 years ago, 10, 15, 20, 25 years ago, the industry didn't change much, right? I mean, yeah, maybe 25 years ago, 15 years ago, 10 years ago, pretty much status quo. And then all of a sudden, about 7, 8 years ago, they started to introduce e-applications, right? And it was a very slow transition. And then next thing you know, COVID hits about 3, 4 years ago, and we saw lots and lots of changes with all the insurance carriers, with compliance. Even before, let's say 5 years ago, there were some carriers where they said you still have to see a client face to face to make a sale. So what happened is in the last 3 to 4 years, we saw more changes technology wise than we've seen in the last 20 to 30 years in our industry. Okay, so it's like all of a sudden it was like slow motion, like the dinosaur age, to like fast forward, turbo, and in the last 3, 4 years, and you have to change with the industry. In fact, you have to be in front of those changes. Number one. Number two, to be an effective and successful insurance salesperson, and this goes with any industry, as a matter of fact, you have to put yourself in the consumer's head. So, it's like a psychological game, right? You have to always say to yourself, if I was the person on the other end buying this policy, how do I want or need to hear about you? How would I want or need to do business with you, right? In order to be successful, you have to pretend you are the consumer. Okay, so my point is the 100-foot overview, lots and lots of changes going on rapidly. Okay, on the insurance company side, on the consumer side, on your side, on the IMO side. So you have to be in front of it, okay? And not to confuse things, but the way that you should look at this, again, this is exactly how I look at this every single day, is I say, okay, what do our agents want and need to be successful? Okay. And then we have to kind of pivot to the way you want to do business because you're our customer. So you need to do the same exact thing, right, as what we're doing with agents. You have to do that with consumers. Okay. So my point is if they want to do business with you through Facebook and direct message, great. If they want to do business with you at a Starbucks at 7 a.m. on a Tuesday, great. If they like the go-to webinar platform because that's where they're comfortable, wonderful. Okay, but you have to constantly be thinking of the consumer and the way they want to do business and then meet them there, if you know what I mean. Okay, and what's happening now is the younger generation, and I've seen a bunch of LIMRA statistics and surveys and the latest trends. Okay, now what's happening, and I think you probably even do this, right, in the retail space, especially with grocery shopping or if you're buying stuff for the house, people want things fast. They want things rapid, quick, one click this, one button that, shopping cart here, proceed here, and done. And then you move on, right? It's not the way it was 10 years ago. So here we are, 2024, late January. You're thinking, okay, I want to crush it in 2024. What do I need to be successful? Okay, I hear about this AI. I know social media, TikTok, Threads, X, this, that. Okay, so this is what I want you to do on today's presentation. Okay, I want you to think about where you are today. And like I said, we have agents from all walks of life, from Cedar Rapids, Iowa, all the way to Key West, Florida, literally all over the country. Okay, so you have to say, okay, what does my business model look like? What does my marketing platform look like? Where is that today? Okay, as of literally today. And hopefully you write this down, okay, what it looks like today. And then how can I be more effective and how can I meet my consumers where they want to meet and do business? Okay, make sure your website is professional, easy, okay, looks great. It has to be a reflection of you. Just like as if you owned a 7-Eleven or a McDonald's, okay, you want to make sure the menu is very clear, people can read it, it's done in layman's terms. Bathrooms, right, always have to be clean, stocked, okay, nothing on the floor, and make sure, right, that's a reflection of you. Make sure there's a picture of you, your family, family dog, whatever it is, people can relate. Wonderful. Okay, that's number one because that's your storefront. Number two, social media. And I know you've probably heard me talk about this over and over, but things have changed, things have shifted. Okay, you have to be present on social media to be dangerous, okay, to have a good plan moving into the future. So, what I would suggest at the very minimum, LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, okay, I would even check out the threads, okay, and make sure all of your pages, okay, even your own YouTube channel or podcast, make sure everything looks just like your storefront, which is your website. Like I said, professional, everything is clear, up to date, current. The last thing you want anyone to do is see like let's say a company that used to be around like a Bestow or a AIG instead of Corbridge, right? And what happens is you lose all credibility and trust. So these things moving into the future are extremely important. And I know you're scratching your head saying, Bill, I already know I need to have a website and the basics with social media. Okay. And that's great. But how current are your pages? Okay. How great does your website look? Right? How often are you e-blasting and keeping your name in front of your consumers? How often are you running a Facebook ad or an Instagram ad? How often are you networking with a health agency, right, to sell life or a P&C agency? Or are you cross-selling your existing database with annuities and critical illness and cancer and accident? Okay? How often are you sending out even an old school mail or having an assistant, right, or admin or even yourself make calls to your existing database, right? Or some of our new prospects and leads. We have great lead programs now. How often are you doing this stuff? Okay. You're probably saying, oh, I haven't checked my Facebook page in 6 months. Well, shame on you because all of this is a reflection of you and your business. Okay. It's extremely important. Andrew can tell you, I've had 3, 4 meetings in the last 8 weeks, right? And it was with our entire marketing team. And it was about, hey, is our website up to date? Is it current? Is everything working correctly? Right? What does our YouTube page say? Is the Bill Levinson Experience podcast up to date with the latest episodes? Is everything current? Okay. Check. Go run a search on Google. Put in your name personally, and then put in your business name. Is everything that's showing up current? Is it relative? Okay. Do you need to add anything? So this is how you need to think in this new world. Okay. And if you're already there, great, because you promise you're going to learn something today from our featured speaker, Ken. Okay. Who's a whiz, by the way, at all of this stuff. Okay. And I'm not saying that lightly. So what we're going to do today, and enough of my ranting, is we're going to talk about a platform. Okay. That if I was an insurance agent or agency today in the life space, annuity, health, all the above, whatever, okay, I would love to have a platform, and not just love, but need a platform like this, like what you're about to hear with Ken and Snoozy. Okay. We're talking about a professional WordPress website. We're talking about a person think of like a life coach, but call it a social media coach, if you will, right? Who's going to do an interview with you, who's going to set up the pages with you, who's going to make sure the content is relative and current for you. Okay. So you want to run a Facebook ad. He will set up a coaching session with you. You can record and then go back for reference and at a later date. But this is what you have to do. And I'm going to tell you this, and then I'm going to stop talking for a second. Think about this. So we are an IMO, right? We have direct contracts over 90 companies, right? Since 1972 is when Kerry, my dad, started the company. Everybody knows, right? So think about this. Today, almost 24,000 agents in every city in the U.S. practically. Do you know our number one lead generator, lead driver for agents? Because obviously we don't sell, right? That's a conflict of interest. You can't work with agents and then sell to consumers, retail. That's a big no-no in our space. By the way, if someone ever does that, run as fast as you can in the other direction. Okay? But think about this. Our number one lead driver today, 2024, is from Facebook ads. Okay? Facebook ads. So what does that tell you? And you're saying, I know right now, Bill, yeah, you market to agents and agencies, and I'm marketing to consumers. It's even better for you. It's easier for you. Why? Because the bucket is much larger. Think about it. I'm marketing to life insurance active agents. You're marketing to consumers with a heartbeat. Okay? Do you think the bucket is bigger than a licensed life insurance agent? Yes. So I'm telling you, the list, the opportunity by running social media ads is endless. You just have to get creative, and we can help you with all of that. We have videos, e-blasts, marketing pieces, scripts. We have mailers even. We have one of the largest P&C agencies, okay, just teamed up with us the end of last year. Why? Because they want to market life and health products to their P&C consumers. They have over 200 locations and growing every day almost. Okay, they did this for a reason because they know these policies are being sold, right? Just not by them. Okay, so they were smart. They capitalized on a great opportunity. Now you got to think like this moving forward. What did they do? They work with us now, and they launched Insure Me Now Direct, okay, to all of their agencies and agents so they can market their own platform to their database, their consumers, their network. How did they get the word out? With the mailers, with e-blasts, through social media, through ads. This is how you have to think in this new world. And then, by the way, if you've been doing this for 29 and a half years and you love Ponderosa Buffet seminars and it's been working for you, wonderful, kudos. Okay, keep doing that, but then have this running in the background. Okay, because we have to diversify. So we know if Ponderosa ever goes out of business, which I think it actually may have, but if the restaurant ever goes down or the seminar leads don't work anymore, whatever the case is, right, you have a backup plan. And for your customers, right, that send their grandkids and children to you, who don't want you to meet them at their living room table, okay, at 8 p.m. on a Wednesday. They want to go on your website. They literally don't even want to see you or talk to you. Okay, and I'm not saying this sarcastically. They want an email. They want a link. They want to know when the policy's approved and how they can pay, and they are done. They'll call you if they have questions, and you get paid. They're happy. Everybody moves on. That's the new world, the younger generation. Now, if you have $150,000 case, okay, a monster 150,000 a target premium, obviously you want to push for a face-to-face meeting, but for the smaller stuff, this is the new world, and you have to be out there. You have to be top of mind, and Ken has a great system exactly for that. Okay, I'm going to go through the next slides quickly because I want to make sure Ken has plenty of time. What I want to talk about is the studies, the last statistics that came in last year in 23. Okay, and this is the proof in the pudding. I'm not going to go word by word here, but my main point is the millennials, the younger generation. Okay, numbers are skyrocketing. And I believe what happened is with COVID, right? The younger generation, they got real smart and they said, wow, you know what? We're not going to live forever. We're not invincible. We're not bulletproof. I just saw my cousin Johnny, 31 years old, got COVID and died. This is real. You know what? I can lock in low rates while I'm young and healthy, right? Life insurance got to be pretty cool since COVID. Okay, I'm telling, and this is a fact. This isn't just me ranting here on a Thursday afternoon. They're going online, right? The younger generation, they're online constantly. They're doing research constantly. They're saying index universal life. You know what? They're going to run a Google search and they're going to tell you exactly what it is in less than 3.5 seconds. And guess what? If you're not top of mind, they go to the next agent that is. That's the new world, and these studies prove that point. Okay, AI, artificial intelligence. How does that tie into what we're doing? Okay, Ken even is going to talk about a plug-in option that he's going to share some info on. Okay, but again, we're not to confuse you. Just think about those legs, the prongs. What does your marketing platform or model look like today? And that's where Ken is going to come in and help you tie all of this in together. But again, proof in the pudding is here. We're going to share all of this in the thank you email. Let's keep moving forward. What I want to do next, and by the way, if you want to take a look when we're done, don't do it now, but when we're done at Levinson's platforms, see what are we doing out there on YouTube and the podcast and Facebook and LinkedIn and Instagram, okay? Because they always say you don't have to reinvent the wheel, change a few spokes, but look at what we are doing and how often we do it. You should be doing the same thing, if not more, to the consumer, okay? It's just a different gear. Let's keep moving forward. What I want to talk about next is changing your year, changing your practice for the better, okay, by networking with other successful agents, by hearing new sales strategies, listening into our top carrier presentations, our keynotes, okay. Joe Ross is the official keynote speaker at the Levinson 2024 Expo. I hope you RSVP'd by now. If you didn't, as soon as we're done with this call, please click on the link. We'll include this in the thank you email. This is free for all Levinson agents. Even if you've never written an application before, it doesn't matter. It's free. Breakfast, lunch, the entire day. We bring in our top carriers. We're bringing, like I said, Joe Ross. In fact, I just got word, Mike Savage, who's Tony Robbins' right-hand man. He's going to be there. He also works with that Tarek El Moussa from Flipping Houses. I know he just wrote a book, but you're going to have Joe Ross. You're going to have Coach Mike Savage. We're going to have an agent roundtable discussion, and then we're going to hear from some of our top carriers in the industry on the life and annuity side. But my point here, we're capped at 300 by fire code, okay? And we're getting close, so make sure you RSVP. Very, very important. Do that today, okay? This is going to be a day full of sales strategies to change the rest of the year and hopefully into the future for you. I don't care where you are in the country. And then we'll even fly you in round trip. Okay, look at the premium requirements below. And if you have life and annuity business, we can use both for the qualification premium commitments on the bottom. Let's keep moving forward. By the way, this is beachfront right on the sand. So it'll be an awesome vacation, awesome day, and it's a win-win, especially if you want to bring your family down, your spouse, whatever it is. Okay, our 411 newsletter, and this is another good example of us reaching out to our customer, which is you, the agent and agency, right? So this takes all of our 90 companies, life, annuity, supplemental products, and it gives you the latest and greatest, what's hot, what's not, what's discontinued, what new product came out, what do you need to know for writing annuities in Wisconsin. Every single thing in the industry is right here in front of you. It's a click away. Okay, and we send this out every other week. So make sure you're getting this in your inbox. Okay, if not, let us know, and we will get you all set up. It's funny, I had another question earlier from an agent, and he said, oh, I want to see what annuities I placed last year in 23. Can you run a report for me? I'm like, Bob, did you know you can just go on our website and we have a scorecard and you can click on it and you can see all of your life, your annuity business, how you're trending against other Levinson agents, benchmarks, and we have it all, and it's a free scorecard sitting on our website. He's like, oh my gosh, I never knew you had this. Okay, so you got to jump in, and if you have questions, pick up the phone, talk to any one of our marketers, or actually any of our 26 team members can help you. 4 different states now, okay? 26 people are here to help is my point. Let's keep moving. Manhattan Life is our latest carrier to join Insure Me Now Direct, okay? So I just want to say something quickly. I'm seeing some of our competitors now that are trying to get into the space. This is direct to consumer, meaning you, the agent, can go direct to consumer. It's like your own Amazon platform. Okay, and I always said we are the only IMO, we're the only business that allows an agent to go direct to consumer with instant decision, 100% client driven, just like Amazon. We are the only company to have a platform where you are agent of record, you get full commissions plus renewals that doesn't cost you a penny to create and have your website out there in the internet space. Okay, free, your agent of record. It's literally no difference. Just like as if you're face to face with a client at Starbucks, same thing. But the younger generation, remember what I said, they want to log in, check out your website at 2 a.m. They can run a quote, they can compare products, they can apply online, they can get approved in less than 12 minutes, they can print and save their policy. You woke up the next day, 7 a.m., boom, you have a new sale. Okay, that's Insure Me Now Direct. And now we got legs. Why do we have legs? Because we have over 25 products now. Okay, in fact, even more because Manhattan Life just brought 17 to the platform. So we have all of the latest and greatest Manhattan Life products on the platform. We literally just officially launched the final products on that list within the last week. So you got to run with this stuff. In fact, we're giving you $100 with your first app. Even if you write it on yourself, I don't care. Your first app on Insure Me Now Direct, because I want to show you this is not just words. The proof is in the pudding. Go through the process. See how easy it is? We're giving you $100 cash on top of your commissions plus renewals on most of the products that are in front of you. So you got to get set up. Manhattan Life. By the way, we also just added, it's not listed on here, Citizens has a guaranteed issue life product we launched the first week of January. We're waiting for the rest of our states to be set up, but we're going to officially be able to launch and you'll be able to sell, okay, product on February 1st. Okay, February 1st. So that's only, a week away, week and a half, and you'll be off to the races. Let's keep moving. My last slide here before Ken takes the wheel. And I thought this was great. Again, you have to put on your consumer hat, right, to be effective in the marketing space. Very simple. I have to put on my agent hat so we're effective marketing to you all. So this question, this call comes in all the time that says, hey, You have so many companies, right? It's overwhelming. I don't know where to go for what. Why can't I stick to two or three companies? Here's what we did to change your world, to make it easy, especially if you're calling leads, you're on the phone 24/7. We have a list, right? One spreadsheet. We show every single company and what their niche is. What is their strong point, their bullets, or two or three, okay? Because we don't want to have a Burger King, a McDonald's, all on the same corner. Each company represents a niche in the market. And in fact, it's the strongest niche we bring in the best carrier for whatever it is that's needed for a consumer. So you never have to worry that that consumer finds another product better than what you offered that Levinson doesn't offer. Never. It's never happened. Okay? We have you covered. You need to know that. Okay? Trust and verify, as they say. Well, this is the proof in the pudding, and we're here to prove that concept as well. Again, call one of our marketers, and we'll show you exactly what we mean by that. Okay, my next slide here, I'm going to introduce our featured speaker. I know I ranted a little bit. I apologize. We have Mr. Ken French from Snoozy, and he's going to take the wheel. Ken?
Hey, good afternoon, everyone. Just give me a second here to recalibrate my slideshow, and we'll get going here. Okay, we should be good. So let me just kind of start off and introduce myself. My name's Ken French. I think it's important you understand that very much like Bill, I grew up in the insurance industry as well. My grandfather was in it. My father was in it. I got in the business in the late 90s. And we used to have kind of a company very much like Levinson, where we worked with independent agents and helped them sell employee benefits, Medicare, life insurance, individual health insurance. Long story short, when I was at that company, obviously I was pretty much a young kid, but my job was to help our agents, kind of evolve with technology. And back then it was kind of like our agents all had fax machines. And in the year 2001, it was time to get rid of the fax machine and get a scanner and get email. So I used to have to drive around, go to everyone's office and kind of break the news that, hey, in 2022, they're not going to take your fax anymore. You got to get a scanner. So that was kind of my introductory to the industry. And the most important thing I learned with meeting so many different producers is that everyone kind of had their own style. Everyone kind of had their own product focus. And, as the years went by, my job turned into helping agents get their first agency management system and get rid of those filing cabinets. And then by the mid 2000s, helping them build their first websites. And to make a very, very long story short, my dad, who ran that company, he ended up selling the business in 2009, right before healthcare reform. And when he sold it, I took my wife and I took a few of my IT people and we created our own company called Snoozy. And basically what Snoozy is what we were doing at that time, which is we help independent agents and agencies build their own websites. And if they don't have time for social media, we can provide content. We have a content posting service. And, I'll go through each one of these services today, and I'm going to show you some samples. And, like Bill said, I have some kind of new exciting AI tools that we're building into these websites. But I think the theme of everything we do is everything's custom, and when you come to us, the first thing I'm going to do is interview you and try to figure out what your style is. Just like when I was saying back in the year 2000, I was going to basically office to office, meeting all these agents. It's the same philosophy. I understand for you to be successful, you have to play to your strengths. And everything we do is geared to kind of do that. So most importantly, if you are an active Levinson producer, you are eligible for special pricing on our services. And you'll see that pricing in red. If you get time or if you want to do it throughout the presentation, I do suggest you check out levinson.snoozy.net. That is our special kind of micro site with Levinson where you can view samples, you can watch little videos about our services, you can see testimonials from current clients, all that kind of stuff. So feel free to do that throughout the presentation. Most importantly, I think it's important to understand that I work with pretty much every type of product line. Now, most of you probably focus on life insurance and annuities and IULs and maybe disability insurance. Great, that's fine. If you do other products like Medicare and health insurance and PNC, that stuff's going to want to be incorporated onto the website as well. And we're certainly capable of doing that. And, one of the questions I got the other day from someone who called me up was like, who do you work best with? What type of agent can you really make successful? And again, I've been doing this now over 15 years. And, there definitely are some things that need to be in place for us to really help you. Number one, and I think this is a great tip for anybody who's just getting started. You have to, and Bill mentioned this probably 6 times when he chatted, you need to sell yourself to the consumer. It's great that you have all the carriers. It's great that you have all the products. But guess what? Everyone on this call probably has those same carriers and same products. So what does it come down to? It comes down to you and why that consumer should work with you. So for me, that's going to be part of the thing I'm going to try to help you with, to develop a brand. Number 2, you got to be confident in what products you're focused on. I can't really help you if you don't know today what you're going to sell, obviously, right? Number 3, you got to believe in referrals. I've been in this business, 24, 25 years. Anybody who's ever been a 7-figure producer who's making millions, trust me, they're getting more referrals than you can comprehend. To me, that's a foundation. Yes, leads are good. That's how you kind of get started, but referrals are where you make real money. 4, you got to know how to cross-sell. Bill said that 25 times today. Cross-selling is the key to really making a ton of money, cross-selling those annuities. But I think most importantly, I'm expecting most of you that come to me to really kind of struggle with this web stuff. That's okay. I'm not expecting anyone on today's call to be a master at this. And I think the way I look at it is I'm just expecting you to kind of be able to look in the mirror and say, hey, this is who I am. This is what I'm trying to help people with. But I need somebody to partner with who can kind of put the whole puzzle together for me online with a website and with social media. And that's the kind of person I'm looking for. I don't mean to ramble on, but this is a good story that basically this morning I had a call from a new agent. And, he rambled on for a bit. But once he finally got into his story, he basically said, look, I've been doing this 20 years, and I'm pretty successful. But to be honest, I really have relied on referrals and kind of doing it old school, where I'm local and people just know me from around town. And he said, look, I was working with a couple and, basically I was going to help them with an annuity. That's where it was going. And it was looking good. Next thing I know, they tell me they don't want to work with me. So long story short, this guy finds out that the couple's kids Googled him, and he didn't have a website, and he had a LinkedIn profile that was set up about 15 years ago that he totally forgot about, that basically said he did real estate services. And basically the kids were like, you're not working with this guy. He's not even in the insurance business. He doesn't have a website. His LinkedIn profile says he sells real estate. This guy's a scam. And he lost the couple. And he was kind of devastated. And long story short, I don't think that was the first time it happened to him. So he kind of came to me, and he, in my opinion, he fit all these criteria. He was a good salesman. He knows the products. Probably people love him, but he just kind of struggled to put all these pieces together digitally. And I know he's someone I can really help get to the next level very quickly. So when it comes to our website services, like I said, I want to have a game plan, okay? In my opinion, saying, Ken, I hope you build a website for me, and then if somebody types in Florida life insurance, I come up first. Yeah, that's not a good game plan. Maybe back in 2002 when I first started building websites, but right now there's probably 25,000 agents in Florida, if not more, with websites. I'm not saying people can't search and find you, but it needs to be a little bit more advanced than that. So usually where I start with people is I say, look, here's my philosophy. I want to help you strengthen 3 different things. 1, if somebody uses that smartphone, just like that couple from before, and they Google you, they got to find a website that tells them who you are, why they should work with you, what your process is going to be, what carriers you represent, and obviously there should be some success stories or testimonials from people that you've helped. Yes, I really think you should have a picture on there. If you have an agency, your whole staff should be on there with bios. Obviously, you need to have a logo and branding. Look, if you don't have that stuff, I'm here to help you get that stuff. But what I'm getting at is I'm kind of requiring it. To me, that's a prerequisite to being successful. You got to have branding. Two, we need to do a really good job at reviewing what you specialize in. This is the biggest challenge I have with insurance agents. I'll talk to them on the phone and they'll say, Ken, yeah, 90% of my business, life and annuities. I do a little bit of this. I do a little bit of that. Next thing you know, I'm building this website and they're trying to feature products that they make $5 a year on. We need to have a section for travel insurance. We need to have dental insurance on the front page. And it's like, look, we can have a small spot for these little products, but it's important to show the consumer that you are an expert in something. You don't want to look like a jack of all trades. If you truly are a good, salesman, you'll be able to cross-sell them the dental insurance or the travel insurance or whatever. Don't worry about it. So for me, that's number two. I got to help you project what you specialize in. And then three, which is really the most important of it all, we got to have reasons for you to send people to this website to do things. The site has to be functional. And that's one of the most common phone calls I get, especially from small agencies. They'll say, Ken, back in 2018, we spent $5,500 on this website that took 8 months to build. It's got every possible thing you could ever imagine on it about insurance, but we never get any leads. And usually the first question I say is, well, wait a minute. How many people this week did you send to that website to do something? How about this month? How many people in January did you send to the website to do something? And every time it's the same answer. Ken, we never send anyone to the website. We just were hoping by having this really fancy website, which is basically an encyclopedia of insurance, that, gosh, people would find us and want to do business with us. And, after I talk to them for a little while, I go, yeah, well, maybe. But obviously that plan didn't work the last 6 years. So at the end of the day, the best way to get them on the website, the best way to cross-sell the annuities and the IULs and the secondary stuff is to get them to go onto the website to do easy things, to access your calendar, to schedule a new meeting or a customer service, meeting. Have them go into the Insure Me Now Direct portal, maybe an educational video or two about the products. Maybe you just met with them and you need them to fill out a needs analysis questionnaire to understand all their information and whatnot on, what you're going to be able to help them with. So let me kind of start off and kind of show you kind of a quick sample of a client I've worked with. And I mentioned before, we've kind of gotten into the AI development world. And I was joking with Andrew before the call, AI can mean a lot. It's kind of like me saying, hey man, do you sell insurance? And it's kind of like, well, what kind of insurance? All right. So with AI, we've gotten into some of what I would call the responsive part of it. So this is a gentleman's website, and what you see in front of you is a little pop-up. And I have set up this kind of AI pop-up, and basically it knows who's coming to the site. Is this your first time on the site? Have you come to the site a few times? It can detect where you're located, and based on that, it puts different things on this pop-up. So basically what I've done today is this is for like a new visitor to the site. And what it's showing is a schedule meeting button that you can click on and go right into this guy's calendar. It's showing a shop online button that you can click on and go right into Insure Me Now Direct. And it's showing kind of a do you speak Spanish button. So this gentleman, a lot of his clients only speak Spanish, where someone can come in and fill out a Spanish only form. So anyway, this has garnered, it's a very simple tool, but you would be surprised how it filters the traffic and really helps it. So if we look at this guy's website, I just want to kind of focus on those three things we talked about. Number one, branding, right? So he's got an about section where obviously he's got information about him, why you should work with him. He's got a list of all the carriers he represents, right? Number three, he's got his client success stories. He's got stories of all the clients he's helped and what he focuses on. In my opinion, it doesn't have to be rocket science, but he's got his logo. Obviously, he's branded as a local Chicago guy. He's got a little bit of video with family. Um, you know, that's branding. Number two, he reviews what he does. Okay. So rather than having a traditional, okay, he does life insurance, annuities, living benefits, disability insurance, he's kind of gone with a different strategy where we have family solutions. And it's kind of like, well, what can we do for your family? Well, we can help you with college savings. We can help you with mortgage protection. We can help you with debt elimination. Then he's got a section on kind of income planning, which is kind of obviously more annuity based, et cetera, et cetera. I don't have to go through all of it, but to me, that's number two. We've tried to clarify what he does and who he helps. And then, of course, number three, functionality, where people can schedule a meeting. They can go into the Insure Me Now Direct portal. They can fill out a questionnaire to really go through everything, that he needs to get a proper quote. He's got educational videos. He's got calculators. And then kind of number four, which is a sidestep, he does hire agents. And he does have a downline. So he kind of has a careers page where if you're interested, you can obviously fill in your information, et cetera. So, that's just one example of a site we've developed. But I think, like I said, if you're going to work with me, number one, we have to have a game plan. And when I build you the website, that is just step one. I've gotten you to the starting line. Now I expect you to run the race. And I expect you to come back and call me up in a week, in a month, in 2 months, and you got to have some feedback. You can't call me up in a month and go, Ken, I haven't gotten any activity on my website. Because I'm going to say, well, when we last chatted, you were going to do X, Y, and Z. How did that go? If you say, well, Ken, I never did anything. I know I told you I was going to do this, and I know I told you I was going to do that, but I didn't do anything. To me, don't waste my time. I'm not a good fit for you. But if you're somebody who's, like I said, in the game, and you're trying to play it better, that's what we're going to do if we work together. We're going to go through, some strategies on how you're going to use the site. And of course, I'm expecting you to be comfortable with any strategy we come up with. Then you're going to go off once I build the site and you're going to do your thing. You're going to come back and I'm going to look in my agency management system and say, okay, John, when I last talked with John, he was trying to do some online seminars, and he was trying to market them on Facebook. And we'll talk about that and try to figure out how to do it better. So basically the way my website design process works is, number one, before we do anything, I really want to have like a 15-minute consultation with you where I can talk to you about your product focus. I can talk to you about what's been working, what hasn't been working, and I can kind of trade some ideas with you and kind of say like, hey, here's what I think I would do to help you. I guess what I'm trying to say is, step one, we need to be on the same page that there's a game plan we can agree to. If we can agree to that, then really what the first step in the design process is we need to set up about a 30 to 45-minute interview where we're going to talk through branding. We're going to talk through your products. We're going to talk through all the different technology that's out there. And then I can give you a little list of what I'm going to need. And then it takes me about 4 days to build a first draft out. And I'll write all the content. I'll create any AI tools you need. Obviously I'm expecting you to get me your picture and your logo and that kind of stuff. And then I'll send over a first draft and we can go through it together, polish it up, and then get it up and running for you. If you have a web address, fantastic. I'll use whatever you have. If you don't have a web address, no big deal. I'll help you pick one out. But I do want you to own it and control it, because if you ever sell this thing, I don't want to be involved in the sale trying to give them your web address. I want you to own it. So what is the pricing for our services? Well, I've always tried to keep it very, very simple. Number one, there is no upfront setup cost. Okay, I know that's very common. You go to people, they say, I want $1,000. I want this. I don't want anything. All I want is to have a game plan and to hopefully work with you for a few years. That's how I'm profitable. And, don't take it the wrong way, but if we chat and I don't like your game plan and I don't think there's synergy, I'm going to say I might be a bad fit, because like I said, my job's to get you results. That's how I have retention, and I got to be able to get the results you want, so I try to be blunt. But anyway, so here's how the pricing works. today is January 25th. Let's say we did the interview today. You would sign up for our website services and you get a 1-month free trial. I'm not charging you anything. We'll do the interview. I'll have this website up by next Tuesday or whatever. And then on February 25th, you're going to pay $69.99. And that becomes your cost. It's a month-by-month cost. You can cancel at any time. If you cancel, I'm going to shut the website off that I built for you, but I'm not locking you into any type of annual deal. I try to make it very, very simple. And the $69.99 includes building the site from scratch. More importantly, if you need changes, we're here to make them for you, okay? On a side note, I know this is mostly life insurance focused people, but if you do sell Medicare, we are versed in CMS compliance rules, so we'll help you with that. But anyway, changes, no cost. We're here to help you. I'm going to host the site. It's up in the cloud on Azure. It's completely secure. I'm going to provide an SSL security certificate, so your site is HTTPS. Of course, as new iPhones and new iPads come out, I upgrade the technology for you. I don't charge you for that. That's just part of what we do. Of course, I'm going to try to set up the site so it's search engine optimized. Of course, if someone searches for you, they're going to find you. And I'm going to do my best to try to pick out a niche search term that, that hopefully people will find you in. It might just be your town. It might be your county. Like I said, I can't promise you if someone types in Florida life insurance, you're coming up. Probably not. Most likely not. Of course, we'll integrate the Insure Me Now Direct portal into the site, as you saw in that sample. If you have other pearls for other product lines, yeah, we can put those in as well. I also want to make sure you have a Facebook business page. So part of our website services do include setting that up if you don't have one. I'm going to hand it off to you. I expect you to run it yourself, but I'll create it for you. And then the other thing that I do is I do a podcast each week. It's about 10 to 15 minutes. And I try to do some training on social media. You'll get access to my library of podcasts. So hopefully that helps you learn how to use the Facebook page I created, etc. So that's our website services. I do have a second service. It's basically called social media management. And like I said, I started this company in 2009, and really my main focus was website design. I did those podcasts, though, even back then. And what started to happen after about a year is a lot of my clients would call up and they'd say, Ken, yeah, I've been going on your podcast. I get it. LinkedIn, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, whatever, YouTube. I should be doing this. I am doing it. And I'm starting to realize that people are kind of Googling me and they're finding my LinkedIn page. And I'm nervous because I haven't put time into it. It's not active. It looks dead. So that is what this service is. This is a service for someone who says, I know I need to have a business social media presence for my insurance business, but I don't have time every day to post educational, life insurance, annuities. If you sell other products, we can post that too, but it's a content posting service where Monday through Friday, we are going to create educational content and we're going to post it. And we're going to create, innovative graphics. People say, well, what do you post? I post different articles, updates, tips, deadline reminders. Occasionally on a Friday afternoon, I might do an inspirational quote. I do have a sample here of one of my clients I've been posting for. You can see the other day we did a quick post about key man insurance and the importance about it. Here was kind of a tip about mortgage protection insurance. Here was a little overview about final expense and how it can be guarantee issue and simple. Here's just a general kind of marketing post about the importance of life insurance. Again, it's nothing incredibly flashy, but it's meant to be affordable. And it's really hopefully meant to help protect you from those background checks of people who are going to Google you. They're going to find these pages, and I want you to look like the expert. The other thing is I'm sure a lot of you guys are aware that Levinson has just an endless list of tools and services. And I know they can help you a lot with doing a lot of the paid Facebook advertising. Yeah, I think that stuff's important. But I think you would be kidding yourself if you do the paid advertising and your Facebook business page, as Bill would say, looks like garbage. because if people see your advertisement, they're going to background check you. They're going to check your Facebook business page out. They're going to look at your website. And if it's not up to par, you're not going to get that lead. And I think that was one of the things I was mentioning early on. The puzzle, and Bill, this was the theme of Bill's whole presentation. Things have changed quickly. It used to be you needed one or two puzzle pieces to be successful. Now you need a lot of puzzle pieces online. You need the website. You need the social media. You probably need to be doing, obviously, the paid advertising. You probably should be doing email marketing. You should be doing text marketing. Now, unfortunately, I can't help you with all those things, but I can help you with the website and I can help you with the social media. And to me, it goes back to the foundation of giving you a good brand so that you look legit. And if we think about that story from the beginning where those, the kids of that 65-year-old couple who were in their 30s, if they're doing their diligence on you, I want you to look good and I want you to pass that test. The social media services by themselves are $75 a month. So if you already have a website that you're, hey, this is a good website, Ken, I don't need help with that, but I need help with social media, $75 a month. If you need the website and the social media, that is what our elite package is, and that's $130 a month. So just to kind of clarify, I have two services, but I have different rules. So the website service, that's the $69.99 a month. That's the only service that kind of comes with the 1 month free trial, right? So if you signed up today, we'll get it up and running. For me, that's my opportunity to prove we're not fooling around. You pay your first month in February 25th. The social media, it's $75. You pay that initially. The website and the social media, you pay the $130 up front. To me, that's like the higher level where I'm expecting you to kind of have all the stuff in place and I'm getting you going immediately. So what I suggest, and I'm going to go through some FAQs and basic questions, but what I suggest is if any of this stuff sounded interesting to you, I would go to this levinson.snoozy.net website. This is a site, like I said, I've kind of created it and given it to the guys at Levinson. It just makes it easy. You can come on here and you can click on view samples and see all sorts of different sample websites we have. Here's one for life insurance, and you can go on and obviously look at our services and watch little videos again, just reviewing how it all works. It's got the discount pricing. But I think most importantly, if you like what you see, step one is to click on this I'm interested next step button in the upper right. Fill out this little form, and I am going to get back to you and send you my calendar. And we'll schedule kind of like a 15-minute call. It's going to be a very casual call. We're just going to kind of go through your focus, your branding. We'll talk about, different things that maybe I can develop to help you and basically just figure out, hey, is this a fit? And if it is, I'll get you set up and we'll get you going. But that, to me, that's the next step for anybody who's interested. Come to this levinson.snoozy.net, look around, click on the I'm interested next step, and we'll chat through things. So let me answer a few FAQs, and then I don't know if any other questions have come in. Maybe Andrew can help me with that. But here we go. So most common question I always get, Ken, I already have a website. I have a web address at GoDaddy or Network Solutions, and I have this other company managing the website. Can I still work with you? And the answer is absolutely yes. What we would do is build out a rough draft. And once the rough draft looks good, we'll go into GoDaddy or Network Solutions or Google Domains or wherever, and we'll unplug the other company. You won't have to pay them anymore. The new website will show up on your web address, and your email is going to stay status quo. Nothing's going to happen to that. And we can certainly work together. Another common question, Ken, if you guys help us with social media, are we still able to post ourselves and run it from time to time, or do you do everything? Best way to answer it is you still have access to your social media pages. You own these pages. You control these pages. If you want to post stuff, you can go post anything you want. My services are more the daily drudgery of making sure Monday through Friday that the pages look active, there's educational material flowing, So yes, you can still post. You're going to give us access where we'll post, but it's not an issue. Um, and that's usually about it. Andrew, have any other questions come in?
I think Ken, I think we're just about time up. We have a few minutes left,
Okay.
and
Okay, good.
what we'll do is we'll patch you back in if we have questions we can't answer. But this was
Sounds good.
fantastic. Yeah, I so appreciate it. I learned a lot too. Thanks for taking the time. Let me. I have a few slides I want to review, and then we're going to have our giveaway in just a minute here. So, okay, real fast. This is a menu that Ken just touched on of the different packages. And I do want to touch on, and this is important for you to know, yes, we are two separate companies. Okay, we don't make a penny off our agents using Ken services. And I just want you to understand that we pass along the savings to you. It's almost like a Costco volume approach, okay, where thousands of agents use the services and then you get to leverage these great prices, okay? Because I'll tell you right now, social media marketing and a website for literally pennies on the dollar is unheard of, okay? It's usually thousands. And you can do some research just to double check that. Okay, so real fast, the next slide is our Levinson Resource Center. I know Ken mentioned this as well, and I think it's important. You saw some examples of Ken's agent's Facebook page, which is great. And you should also be posting in addition to, or maybe on other platforms, just driving people back to your home base and being top of mind. So we have in fact, an entire library full of videos, e-blasts. We can co-brand for you. We'll take it as far as you would like us to, and all of this is free. Okay, so you can leverage the Resource Center. Let's keep moving. This is the co-branding Resource Center, which Beth can set up for you as well. And then it ties back to all of our exclusive platforms that you can use to market and differentiate yourself from every other agent out there trying to pitch, the same term with ROP or living benefits or IUL. Okay, so this is a big difference maker because you're marketing platforms other agents don't have access to. Very simple. Let's keep moving forward. So Ken mentioned text marketing, having let's say not so much well, I would call it a semi-auto dialer service. So Ringy does all of that for you. This is another third-party company, okay, that's similar to what Ken does, but what they do is you take all of your leads, or maybe I would have two buckets. I would say prospects on one side and then existing clients database on the other, and then you market through email, texting, auto phone calls, and you hit these clients and prospects from every corner. Okay, and then there's a shared calendar, and they're literally setting appointments with you while you're sleeping. So it's very, very cool. And then you just literally open your phone, hit accept for a new appointment, and boom, it's in your calendar, done. On the right side, Agency Automator is another great service for prospecting. There's a prospecting database with millions and millions of consumers you can tap into. Email marketing, it's great. So another great tie into Insure Me Now Direct there as well. Okay, the next slide. Now, this is something Beth in our office put together, and I love this because she got a bunch of questions in from agents saying there's so many pieces, I don't know where to start, I don't know where the end is. So she simplified your world and put together marketing in a box, okay? So picture, you're an insurance agent sitting on a shelf, and you're trying to figure out, how am I going to get my message out there? Okay, I want to make this easy in layman's terms. So that's part one. Part two on the right side. We'll include both of these in the thank you email. The next slide, real fast. This is awesome. So Pacific Life put together 41 approved compliant posts for LinkedIn or various social media platforms, and we can co-brand these for you, or you can do it yourself. This is all in our website, and we'll include this in our thank you email as well. The next slide here, and I found this interesting when Ken was talking about, his posts that he's putting together for the agents, and how, they don't have to be so crazy with all these moving parts and diagrams. No, it's this simple posts that get your message across, that's cute, that maybe ties into Life Insurance Awareness Month or Valentine's Day or Christmas or New Year's or Hanukkah, whatever. Okay, you have to be creative. I call it scrappy marketing. Okay, look at the left side. That's Life Happens. Almost 1,000 likes and hundreds of comments. And look at that post. Okay, and I always say again, you don't have to copy, but just change a few spokes in the wheel. Okay, the middle one. This one created hundreds of comments and questions, and every comment or question, that's a new lead for you to reach out to through DM, direct message. Okay, you got to get creative here. The right hand side is a cute Valentine's Day post. How do you say I love you with life insurance? Okay, 410 likes. Okay, you get the point. Let's keep moving. We're almost done. I'll be literally done in a minute and a half. This was from yesterday. I'm super excited about this. This is our first podcast episode of 2024. One of my favorites ever. Okay, left hand side, that's Tony Robbins' right hand man, Michael Savage. Okay, life coach. He's awesome. He's also going to be speaking at our expo. And then moving all the way over to the right hand side, that's Emmanuel. So he's been on two different episodes. One of our top agencies, Doctors Benefits, shares some great nuggets, words of wisdom. The three of us, I think we crushed it for an hour. We're going to be launching this probably by tomorrow. It's audio and visual. It's on all the podcast channels, but definitely one you do not want to miss. Some great personal stories too that we all share and dive into. So I promise you're going to love that one. I want to hear back. By the way, leave a comment, review on our Google's page, on our Facebook page. Give you a free IUL prospecting book, just like that. So everybody's a winner. Okay, next slide is our menu of training events. So number one, Agency Automator now is on Wednesdays live with Kevin every Wednesday, 2 p.m. And then the section in blue, that's what you're on right now, our weekly live training webinars. And then I'm not going to go through each one, but as you can see, every week we are loaded up, okay, to help you with new strategies, product info, all the above. We'll include this in the thank you email. My last slide here and my question of the day. We're going to have our giveaway right now. I have an Amazon Fire 8 tablet and our IUL prospecting book, which will go to the winner, but you got to answer first. But before I do that, I'm going to move over to the left-hand side. And this is just my example of Positive Tuesday, okay? What is Positive Tuesday? It means absolutely nothing. It's just a reason why I could send out a post, a quote, okay, that I come up with and keep it in front of our agents, okay? And I always say, you don't have to listen to my words, but watch what we do. Watch our actions. You should be doing the same thing. Call it Insurance Friday, okay? Whatever you want, Indexed UL Sunday. Just come up with a quote, a picture, a concept every single week. You got to come up with this content, be creative. And the most important part, and write this down, persistent and consistent. That's the name of the game with everything we just spoke about for the last hour. Because if you try this for a month or two or six, it's not going to work. I promise you. You got to build it. That's how we built our company. Literally. We went from 100 agents to over 23,000. Okay. Why? Because we were scrappy. We were creative. We never gave up. We never stopped pushing. And that's what you need to do. My quote, be impressed by someone's character, daily habits, and love they share, not their posts, pictures, or words they say. Okay, we know how this goes. Don't be fooled by the imitators. Ask questions. Open the door. If someone's not comfortable answering your questions, it's probably a scam or not the right fit. In any part of our industry or life in general. Okay, open the door. Get comfortable before you make a decision. With that said, my question of the day. I hope you were paying attention. Get your little fingers on the keyboard. The question is, whoever's first and correct, we're going to say your name right now and you win. What is the special Levinson co-op discounted pricing for just the social media management package that Ken discussed? So remember, there was three options. What was the monthly price of just the social media management package? Okay, not including the website. You tell me the monthly price and you win. Andrew is checking right now. Andrew, do we have a winner?
We do. It is Marion M. Marion M.
Marion M. The answer was $75 a month. It's the middle package. With that said, I hope you learned something today. I hope even a nugget or two or three. I got you motivated, inspired. Okay, leverage these platforms, get the word out, and slowly your business will change. I can promise you that. Okay, my words of advice is create a YouTube channel. Have your spouse hold your smartphone up and talk about different types of insurance constantly. Be cute about it. Okay, just get creative and scrappy. And never let your foot off the gas. And you're going to see slowly, you're going to make the turn and say, that Bill Levinson was right. I'm glad I did it. You know, it might take a year or two or three or five, but you're going to make the turn. Let's have a great Thursday, great selling, and thank you again, everyone.